Today is the final day of the Black Ops 6 beta. That's kind of true, kind of not true. So today's the last day of the early access of the open beta, but the beta will be returning for the open beta this Friday. Regardless, I'm heartbroken because that's going to be a full 48 hours without being able to play Black Ops 6. I'm not kidding when I say that the last, 4 or 5 days now that the beta has been live is some of the most, this is going to sound weird, but it's some of the most nostalgic fun that I've had in a while. And when I say that, it's not going to make sense because it's dude, Black Ops 6 is a brand new game. How are you feeling nostalgic? I just mean that this game has made me feel nostalgic in the way that I've just been playing the game for fun. I hit max rank on the first day of the beta, and I could have stopped playing there if all I wanted was the rewards, but I've been playing this beta consistently just because I've been having that much fun with it, and it's really taken me back to when I was a kid. And I was saying it during the first couple days of the beta, but me and my friends back in the day, even though we were all master prestiges on Black Ops 2, and we really didn't need to keep playing, if all we cared about was the ranks, from there we could have just went to try to max out our zombies rank, because everybody knows how convoluted the zombies ranks were back then. But no, despite the fact that we all had all of our weapons diamond, and despite the fact that we were all master prestige, we just kept playing the game for fun, because we were having fun with the game. And that's literally where I'm at with Black Ops 6 right now. This game is just so much fun to play, and I already know, they're bringing back classic prestige, and this is going to be another instance of Black Ops 2 for me where I'm going to hit master prestige within the year's life cycle, and beyond that, I'm going to go on to put probably a couple thousand hours into the game like I have with Black Ops 2, because for those that don't know, Black Ops 2 is my favorite Call of Duty of all time, and is one of my favorite games of all time. Am I saying that this is going to overtake or even be on the same level in my mind or in my heart as Black Ops 2? It's hard to say, because I do love all the Call of Duty games like they're my children, though I am just partial to Black Ops 2 due to the memories and fondness and nostalgia that I have for that game. But I do think this is going to be one of those Call of Duties where no matter how much time passes, I'm just always going to return to it. You know what I mean? Because there's some Call of Duties that I do end up returning to more than others. I'll be honest, Call of Duty Ghosts, as much as I love that game and as much fondness and nostalgia that I do have for that game, I do find myself returning to it just a bit less than some of the other Call of Duties. I make sure to go back to it at least once or twice a year, but sure, I don't go back to it almost on a weekly basis like I do with Black Ops 2, for example, because yeah, believe it or not, I play that game on a weekly basis still. And mind you, this is just talking about the multiplayer beta. Not only do we not even have the full multiplayer yet, but we haven't even played the Warzone, the zombies, the campaign, and that'll be a whole other thing. Then we'll have all the mastery camos to grind for, all the DLC weapons and other stuff coming to the game. Not to mention the fact that the Black Ops games always just end up seeming to get the most content compared to any other Call of Duty. Look at any Modern Warfare game, look at any, spin-off Sledgehammer game, and then look at the Black Ops games. The Black Ops games, for the most part, always have substantially more content. Go look at Black Ops Cold War, look at the zombies, the multiplayer, the campaign as a complete package. It is the most content-rich Call of Duty that is released during this Warzone era. There is a case to be made for Modern Warfare 3, as that game has had a substantial amount of content added to it. However, when it comes to every single mode in the game, when it comes to zombies, I would say Cold War had more content. When it comes to the campaign, obviously Cold War had more content. And in the multiplayer department, it's either neck and neck, or Modern Warfare 3 might have the technical advantage by saying that it has more maps, despite the fact that there are a lot of variations in the MW3 map roster, so there's something maybe to be said there. Regardless, another thing that I've always said is that I'm just rather partial to the Treyarch games, because as much as I love every Call of Duty in general, the Treyarch games have not only the multiplayer side of things that I love, but I'm also a huge classic round-based zombies fan, and Treyarch is always delivering on that front. And while there has been some non-Treyarch games in the past that have certainly delivered on that front, Infinite Warfare, and I'll even defend Vanguard Zombies in saying that, Shinonuma was an excellent remake of the World of War map and really does stand on its own as an original round-based zombies entry. There's just something about those Black Ops games, man. The Black Ops 1, 2s, and 3s, where it's just dude, those things hit differently. Even looking at Cold War and Black Ops 4, they're just fantastic. Again, not saying that the other games that I mentioned or didn't even mention, even Call of Duty World War II, for example, that game had a fantastic zombies mode, but it's just, when it comes to the substantial amount of content in the game. Zombies will be pretty cool too, because we're going to be getting Terminus and Liberty Falls at launch, and yeah, we haven't had a game launch with more than one zombies map since Black Ops 4. Black Ops 4, obviously, we technically had 4 maps at launch, which, it's one of those things where I want to say it was too much, but, it's not the fact that it was too much necessarily, because they were all quality maps. It's just the fact that I guess it was too much for the zombies community to track it once. I've loved BO4 since day one, though. I've always said that. I'll always say that. The community was definitely way too harsh on that game. Even maps like Blood of the Dead, I thought was an excellent remake and was actually my most played map at launch. By the way, before we get any further in the video, I probably should have mentioned this at the beginning, but they ended up bringing back the, you know, like the face-off 6v6 mode from Black Ops Cold War. Yeah, that's what we're playing right now, and they actually brought 2 new maps to the game, those being Gala, which you just saw, and then this map here, Pit. Again, I probably should have mentioned that at the beginning of the video, but hey, better late than never. Unfortunately, the next beta period will not be as long. This one was obviously like 5 days, but the next one's only going to be like 2 days. It's going to be from the Friday, like midway through that day, like 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. Pacific, and then Saturday, Sunday, and then it'll be ending Monday at 1 p.m. ET or 10 p.m. PT as well. Okay, I've been trying to switch up some of these Vault Edition builds because I was saying in the one video, like, man, you know, as much as I've been trying to mess around with the attachments on these weapons, if I'm using a Vault Edition weapon or like one of the weapons with the special blueprints, I really don't want to mess with it too much just because aesthetically they look cool, but thankfully you are able to tinker with these weapons a little bit without changing the look too much. So I have this one class here. The Brainstorm I haven't messed with. I left that as is. But in the secondary slot, I have the Scourge, and basically I took off the barrel, which would normally give you an extra headshot multiplier, which you might be hearing that is like, grotesque, why would you take that off? That's an extra headshot multiplier, like, that's extra damage. But the thing is, with that attachment, it boosts your recoil so much, not in a good way, like, it doesn't boost your control of it, it, like, gives you more recoil, which obviously isn't always a good thing. I mean, you know, there's something to be said where it's like, okay, you know, if you have more recoil, maybe if you're normally aiming at the center of mass, that decreased recoil control could help you aim towards their head as your weapon bounces up, but for me, as somebody that normally plays short to typically more like mid-range, especially on some of the bigger maps, yeah, having a bit more recoil control is, well, there it is, I'm being held hostage. This is actually the first time that this has happened to me, and yeah, he just let me die. I also just realized I'm a bit lower in the face cam today. Usually I try to leave myself, like, I don't know, taking up a bit more in the face cam, but I just feel like I'm real low today. But anyways, yeah, my secondary slot here, because I'm running overkill, I ended up swapping out that barrel for a suppressor, so then I'm a bit of a ghost on the map, and yeah, you know, it actually seems to control a bit better, and I just feel like I'm getting kills more consistently with it. Like, I was still streaking out with that original build, but now I feel like I'm streaking out even more with the increased recoil control. Wasn't sure if I was gonna get that kill, to be honest. And there it is, defeat. Oh well, it is what it is. Thankfully, I'm feeling a lot better. In the last couple of Black Ops videos, basically, like, almost all of the beta videos, I think I've been, like, real nasally just because my allergies have been bugging me, but thankfully, I am feeling a bit better now. I know I still sound just a teensy-weensy bit nasally, but I haven't had to blow my nose, like, every 5 minutes, so, you know, that's nice. You know, like I said, though, switching out that barrel for the suppressor just, I don't know, seemed to help with my accuracy a bit more, just my consistency of kills, I guess. I'm thankful for the setup that I have and all, but I really want to get to a point of where things can just be more consistent. Like, I want to get to a point of where I can record my videos back there, have, like, a ring light going, get, like, a face cam that I just keep in one position, because right now, for some games, I record them on PC, other ones, I use them my console setup, which obviously I prefer a controller. I prefer to play on console. That's how I play 95% of my games. It's just in terms of like recording videos, if I could at least get a console in that setup somehow and figure out the whole thing. Because like, while yes, technically I could do that by just taking my console back. No, I'm not dragging my console back and forth. I like my setups to be as not needed to be moved as possible. Who knows? Maybe I'll just wait for my tax return or something and just plop a Series X back there or something. Just like plop it on the desk next to my monitor and get the whole setups going. I don't know. The only part that sucks about my setup right now is part of the lighting, because I use this really cheap, like, third-party Temu made in China, except China has a typo because it's that cheap of a product, desk lamp, and then, you know, my mic is good, and my phone camera is decent, but yeah, I have to use a pretty cruddy tripod, and the phone itself is pretty garbo, and I'm constantly running out of storage while I'm trying to record, so you guys don't even see this stuff half of the time, but usually I'll run out. Oh, hold up, I'm shrieking out already. Let's go, baby. But I'll end up running out of storage mid-recording session, and then I'll have to close out of my camera app, hope that the video saved, which, you know, like, I haven't had a time where it hasn't saved before, but I'm getting scared that one time my storage is just gonna fail somehow and it's not gonna save the video, which would make me really upset. Like, sure, I'd still have the mic audio so you guys could at least hear me, but, you know, the face cam's like a huge part of these videos, just, you know, you guys being able to see my ugly mug. But then I have to close out of the camera app, go into my settings, usually delete a game or clear the cache on a bunch of apps, which is usually what I end up doing, you know, just going through, clearing the cache on like 20 different apps, trying to get back into the recording thing, sync back up my mic and video audio, and it's just, like, it shouldn't be like that. It happens more than I'd like to admit too, because usually when I record, I know these videos only end up being like, I don't know, what, 10 to 20 minutes tops, but typically it's nothing for these recording sessions that take upwards, if not over an hour. And to put it simply, like, my phone just doesn't have enough storage for all that. Most times I'll end up starting a recording session, I'll have anywhere between like 4 to 5 gigs, and it'll end up running out by like the 40-minute mark. And yeah, like I said, it's almost like a daily thing at this point where like I'll get partway through a recording session, have to clear up more space on my phone. It's just, it's so annoying, man. I will say, when it comes to Call of Duty, I do prefer the slightly larger, more traditional maps, like, you know, basically the other 4 maps in the beta, but there is something about these slaughterhouses that I do enjoy. You just go in, it's mindless fun, you shriek out, if you die, oh well, you'll be getting another shriek in 30 seconds. It's great for XP, it'll be great for camo grinding once the full game releases. And while, again, yes, I do vastly prefer the traditional style of maps, I mean, it's just great for some quick dopamine, you know what I mean? 42 and 11, a 3.82 KD. See, if I would have been playing just a bit more carefully, I bet I could have pulled off a 4 KD, but there was a couple of kills where I was being just a little stupid. Oh, look at that, I got best play. Yeah, look at me. Number 1, baby. Let's do the quick draw. Love that emote, man. I love the fact that he brought back the Winter Circle. We haven't had this since Infinite Warfare. I hate how I do that sometimes, though. I start to play, like, a little clumsily, and then, you know, it'll get to that point where, like, towards the end of the match, it's like, oh, I could have had, like, a 4 or a 5 KD or something crazy right there, but since I was a little clumsy at some points, I didn't end up hitting it. But I'd say, hey, with Modern Call of Duty, with SBMM and stuff, I'd say the fact that I pulled off over, what was that, a 3.82 at the end of it, I'd say that was pretty good. But anyways, yeah, like I said, this is the last day of the beta, and I'm really, really sad about that. But it'll be back before too long. It'll be back this Friday, then we'll have it for the weekend, and yeah, we'll have a raised level cap, more rewards to go for, so really excited for that. I'm gonna grind out this game because at the time of recording this, it's like 7, 8 a.m., something like that. So I got another like 4 or 5 hours. So I'm gonna finish recording this, get it all edited, uploaded, and all that. And then, yeah, I'll be grinding the game out for the last couple hours. And I'm not ready for it to leave. But when it comes to loving something, also comes the bittersweet reality of acknowledging that one day you're gonna have to say goodbye. But anyway, as always, smash shout out to all the Patrons and channel members sticking on low ball tier, and make shout out on the big ball tier, my last team, my name, the shout out on G tier, run events on the cheese goal. Thank you guys so much, you guys are literal legends. I love you. Koronni do taki irigato, gozaimasu. Have an amazing day, stay beautiful, I love you all. Peace.